Hey everybody, welcome back for another memory keeping plan with me. This is a very exciting week because it is for April 14th through the 20th. And yes, that was Easter this year, which is one of my favorite holidays. But more importantly to me, April 14th was my kitten Clover's second birthday. And I will explain why that is so significant for anyone who's new in just a bit. But I used leftovers from the kit that I used last year for her first birthday, Hip Hip Hooray from Cinderella Paper. Had lots and lots of full box options left, which was awesome. And then I am pulling in foil, which I explained all the bits of foil in my April kit lineup, which I filmed 4,000 years ago. So you might have forgotten. I've completely forgotten what I said in that video. But I used a mix of like orange glitter from Plan With Me stickers, gold confetti, I don't know, from Planner Pixico, and then I think I had some gold glitter from Plan With Me stickers as well, and then I had just regular gold from the Prairie Planner. So it was a bunch of different foil combinations, but they all complemented each other quite well. So I thought it would be super funny to put this giant cat that says meow, it's my birthday from Plan With Me stickers over the bouncy house in the kit. I think this is so cute. My kitten Clover looks nothing like that. She is a skinny mini. She's a very narrow, thin cat. Classic short hair and also quite small for a cat, although you pick her up and she is solid muscle. Like she is so dense. Like she weighs more than she looks like she weighs, which is very funny. But yeah, I just thought that would be super funny to mark her birthday. And then I just kind of picked like a random coloration of each fashion person in the kit. So there's the baby, there's the kids, and then there's the two adults as well. Really the little girl or the kid in the two kids were like my favorites as far as their outfits and like how they looked in the art. The adults weren't my favorite. The baby wasn't my favorite either. No offense to babies everywhere. I don't know. In art, they always look a little strange to me. Is that bad? I don't know. But yeah, so I decided to put the baby on my extender on Monday because I needed an extender on Monday, but I didn't have any other full box options at that point. So I'm like, well, I guess we're going to have to use the baby. It took me a minute to figure out which baby to use. I decided to keep those two other babies because I figure, I don't know, the medium skin tone baby like looks almost exactly like my brother did. One of my brothers did when he was a baby, which is hilarious. So I guess I'll keep that for if he ever has a kid. I don't know. Anyway, I had washi left over. It's like 100 degrees here today, so my brain and my speech is a little tired. Sorry about that. But yeah, I used the last piece of bottom washi that I had left over, and then last year I color blocked this kit, which meant that I couldn't color block this year, unfortunately, with the leftovers, but that's okay. I think it's gonna turn out pretty well anyway. So I'm just putting down my glitter headers, and then I will get into my underlays, and then I'll explain my thought process behind the overlays in just a little bit. So yeah, Clover is now over 2 years old, which is incredible. This week that I'm currently living and that you're first seeing this video, her doctor actually presented all of the research that she has done on cats like Clover over the last like 5 years. We were involved with her since 2023, which is when Clover got diagnosed with FIP, which is an incredibly scary disease. It's also very difficult to diagnose. I'm almost grateful that Clover had what they call the wet form of FIP first, which is where their abdomen swells up with fluid. It's a very dangerous form of it. It's very fast moving, but the good thing about that is that it makes it very easy to diagnose because it's a very classic indicator. So we first had to deal with that in the fall of 2023, right after we adopted her, and treated her for 3 months, stopped treatment, and then she relapsed with what they call the dry form or the neurological form, which is a lot trickier to diagnose. So honestly, diagnosing her with the relapse was harder because it could have been a whole bunch of other things too. So then we embarked on a second round of treatment at a higher dosage, and thank goodness that worked. So hitting her first birthday last year was incredible because she got diagnosed at 6 months and she might have never made it to her first birthday. And then her second birthday is all about like, hey, this last year between her first birthday and her second birthday has been all about her just thriving instead of just surviving. So that's been amazing. But yeah, one of the trials that or the trial that she was part of, I found out about like the final results of it. 78% of the cats treated through that trial survived. So there were cats who passed away within the first few days of treatment because they were just so sick that unfortunately nothing was going to help them. Sorry, it's hard to talk about. So Clover was in that 78% who survived out of like almost 75 cats, I think. And she was one of the cats who survived. She was one of the only ones who relapsed, unfortunately. There were only like 4 cats who relapsed, but the 4 cats who relapsed responded well to a second round of treatment, and that includes her. So yeah, that's what I know so far. I don't know if all of this is going to get published at some point, and the academic in me is very interested in that process, but that is what we know so far. So on Monday, I put a quote that says, "Life is better with a cat," because personally, I think it is. And then I use these foil dividers. I use them as overlays instead of dividers, but those are from the Prairie Planner. I'm going to put those on a few days. In the sidebar, I have a habit tracker for no Instagram. I finished that process on Sunday because it was Easter, so Lent ended and I went back on Instagram. And then this week's sidebar is for my dinners for the week, and we'll come back to the sidebar and put something in there in just a little bit. I put this Plan With Me stickers quote from Karma by Taylor Swift. It says, "Me and Karma vibe like that," because we adopted Clover July 1st, 2023. And that was when Taylor Swift's Karma was like blaring everywhere. And if you've been here a while, you've heard me make this joke already. If you're new here, I'll share it with you for the first time. I like to replace the word karma in that song with Clover because a lot of the lyrics are funny that way. Especially, I like the one that's like, I like to say Clover is the breeze in my hair on the weekend. And then plus, of course, there's the lyric about, Karma is a cat. Clover is a cat, purring in my lap because she loves me. She's not very lap catty right now. She's very ambitious, and I know she likes me because she comes to me for stuff and yells at me and like wants to sit near me, but she doesn't want to sit on me, which is fine with me because when she was at her sickest, she didn't want to do anything except for sit in my lap because she was cold and felt bad. And so I can do without her being a lap cat for now. On Wednesday, the quote says, "All you need is love and a cat." And on Saturday, it says, "All I need is coffee and my cat." So which one is it? I don't know, but I thought both quotes were quite cute. And then I put the Fur Mama quote on Tuesday. I didn't feel like a cat mom until I got Clover. I have one cat already, Evie. She is almost 8 years old, which makes me kind of sad. But she and me and my husband, I was gonna say her husband, what the hell? The 3 of us were kind of just like 20-something roommates when we got her. Clover is like my baby. I feel like I'm kind of her mom. In the sidebar, I put a Sweet Ava's Paper like judge sticker because I was watching Bones still, and there aren't a lot of courtroom episodes of that show, but there are some, and I wanted to get a chance to use this courtroom sticker. So I thought that would be a cute way to mark that. I was watching season 6 this week. I was putting off this voiceover because I wanted it to be perfect because this is a great week in my planner. I love it so much, but sometimes you just got to do the voiceover, get it done, and accept that things are not going to be perfect. So I'm putting in a bunch of labels on Monday, of course. I think I had like 9 things to mark because it was Clover's birthday. So the first thing I marked with this really cute patterned rainbow box, instead of writing in that Clover, it was her 2nd birthday, because I already wrote that on the monthly view, I decided to write in Clover is too cute. And so I'm going to use an icon from Planet Hannah. It's supposed to be a Bengal, or at least that's what it's labeled as, but it looks like Clover to me. Clover is not a Bengal. Clover is definitely just your garden variety domestic short hair, but that is fine by me. So I'm writing in, I had to write this in order to place the balloon sticker a little bit better. So the 2 in this is going to be from the Prairie Planner. I've been loving these balloons from the Prairie Planner this last year. I think I originally got them for Clover's 1st birthday, so I've been using them for over a year now. So I just thought that was a cute way to write in her 2nd birthday. And then What I also love is that we both were born on the 14th. So this was 1 month until my birthday. So I marked that with a Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then switching back to Sweet Ava's Paper, I did have conferences with my morning students this day. So I marked that. And then in the afternoon, I had my regular class for my advanced students. So I'm going to put in a backpack from Beneva Creations. And then I used this work label from the kit as well as a pencil from Corks and Corks Co. to mark that I was just catching up on grading some smaller assignments. This time of the semester, I'm not going to lie, some of the smaller assignments kind of fall by the wayside and students get a little stressed that they're not graded. And I'm like, I get you, but like, trust me, you want me to grade your essays first. But I caught up on that this day. And then after work, I came home and decorated for Clover's birthday. So that's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. So as the next sticker to mark that, I put up the happy birthday banner. My husband got a #2 balloon from Target, which I thought was very cute. And I put all of that up, wrapped Clover's gift, which was that banana catnip toy. They really do love it. If you do not have that one, it is worth the money. Trust me, they love it. But yeah, Clover started tearing down the banner because I kind of put it at her level. I don't know what I expected. And then Evie decided to come and help her destroy the decorations. So I'll insert some video at the end of this of that happening if you are interested in seeing it. I thought it was quite funny. Then I took some photos of Clover, so I marked that with a Sweet Ava's Paper pumpkin cat. And then my husband cooked shrimp for the cats. So I thought it would be funny. I didn't have any shrimp stickers, like sushi stickers left at this point, so I used like this shrimp dumpling from Wonton in a Million to mark that. And that was Clover's birthday. I think she had a lot of fun. She really loved her new banana toy, and she really loved tearing down the banner that I made for her. Tuesday, I was going to put this in a habit tracker, but I only ended up doing it one day this week. So I marked having my vitamins. I did yoga. That's from Sweet Ava's Paper. So is the next sticker for grading, and so is the next sticker for a situation that was annoying me that day. We're not going to get into it. Then the camera is from Corks and Corks Co., and that was for filming a video. And then this day, Bernie Sanders and AOC were at my old community college for a rally. So that was, I didn't get to go. I didn't really know if I wanted to go to the physical event, but seeing him wearing a ball cap with the letters of my old community college was quite charming. So that was cool. I didn't really have a good sticker for that, so I just used a voting Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then that couple is from Beneva Creations. We just had a long chat over dinner about life and stuff. My husband and I. Wednesday, I'm not going to talk about what that is to mark, but it was part of the annoying situation the day before. Had more conference meetings with my students, had another class meeting, and then filmed some more when I came home. And then we watched Everybody's Live with John Mulaney that evening. So that's from Sweet Ava's Paper. That was on Netflix live on Wednesday nights, and I do miss it. So that is the first half of the week. Moving on to the second half of the week. I marked that my husband worked from home this day, so I'm going to pull in a Sweet Ava's Paper sticker for that. And then I was lesson planning, so I have a Beneva Creations cat on a laptop for that. I had plenty of grading to do, so I'm going to mark that with this Sweet Ava's Paper, like overwhelmed paperwork sticker. That was what I was using last week and this week, just because I was in the thick of it. I'll switch back to some more like happy grading stickers, maybe next week. Maybe not though. Basically from April to the end of May, I'm pretty busy. So grading is not like ever fun. It's just like, we need to do this. We need to get this done. And then I had this weird gap underneath the full box. So I pulled in a pattern piece of washi to fill that in. I did some yoga this afternoon. So I have a Sweet Ava's Paper yoga sticker for that. I was listening to Boneheads, which is Emily Deschanel and Carla Gallo's podcast where they're rewatching all of Bones. So I started listening to that this day. I think they started it last fall, which I believe would have been the 20th anniversary of the show starting. So it's a fun show, or it's a fun show. A podcast is a show. I've really been enjoying it. And now that I am done with the series, I can listen to all the episodes without potentially getting things spoiled, because they do spoil a lot of character arcs. Even in the episodes where they're just talking about early seasons. So if you have not watched all of the show and you care about spoilers the way that I do, listen carefully. But that podcast icon was from Planet Hannah. Friday was Good Friday. I didn't really have a good icon to mark it, but I did have a script from Plannahannah, so I just pulled that in on a patterned piece of washi. My husband worked from home again this day, so that's from Sweet Ava's Paper. I washed the sheets, so I have this laundry hamper from Beneva Creations, and then also from Beneva Creations, I have another cat on a laptop. I wanted to pull in as many of my calico stickers as possible, all the varieties of them, so I have lots of different calico stickers from different shops. But I had a Zoom meeting for work. It was a very productive meeting. We were trying to get some things done related to curriculum development and curriculum change. And then I graded more papers, listened to more boneheads, and then I did have to turn down classes at another community college because I guess there was some sort of either miscommunication or just no communication. They published my name on the class schedule without really necessarily like confirming I could teach at that time, and it conflicted with classes that I had already committed to at another community college. So that's the adjunct life, that's the part-time temporary faculty life, is like juggling multiple class schedules, and sometimes people communicate frequently and sometimes they don't. And so it's like I would like to work more, but I can't work more if people schedule me at the exact same time. I can't be in two places at once. It is impossible. So dealt with that, and then we went out to the brewery for date night. So that beer stein is from Beneva Creations as well. Saturday was 3 months until we go see My Chemical Romance, so I'm going to pull in this ticket from Plannahannah. As of this recording, it's nearly like a month away, so it is coming up quickly. I'm excited. Then I assembled my husband's Easter basket. I got him this dinosaur Easter basket because I just thought it would be funny. So I'm going to mark that with a Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then it turns out he got me an Easter basket as well. He got this cute like little bunny, felt bunny Easter basket. It was very cute. So we got each other treats to put in there, mostly like chocolates and stuff. We are very much a chocolate treat family. So I'm going to mark that with a basket from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. too. Then I did some more filming. I was listening to a bunch of podcasts while filming, so both Sticky Bun Boys as well as Boneheads. And then I did a little bit of exercise and stretching this night, and I was reading more of my book. Currently, I'm in the middle of A Farewell to Arms, so that is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Sunday was Easter, so I marked that with a Plan With Me stickers icon. It was also 11 months of Clover's post-FIP treatment observation. We're going to track that all the way up until May 20th, when it'll be 1 full year where she hasn't had to take her medication. So I'm marking that with a Beneva Creations Calico Cat. And then we went hiking this day, my husband and I. So we went out to Lagoon Valley, which is in a town where I used to work, hiked up into the hills. It was pretty strenuous. So I marked that with a Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Then we came home and made kind of like a brunch. So we had waffles and hash browns. So I'm going to pull in an old Simply a Mess sticker for that. Unfortunately, that shop is now closed. And then I did some more filming. So again, the cameras that you see here were by Corks and Corks Co., and they were drawn by the owner, Laurel. So love that. And then unfortunately, Clover did have a wheezing fit this evening, so I marked that with an inhaler Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Clover, she just has all the luck in the world. She also has asthma and or allergies. We're not entirely sure which, but last summer we took her in because she was wheezing a lot, just to make sure it wasn't like a pleural effusion or something, because that can be a complication of FIP. And it wasn't. She just has some like aggravated parts of her lungs, so she's been on an inhaler for a while. But anytime it gets like dry and warm, she kind of has a little bit of an attack as well. So, lucky Clover, but also kind of unlucky Clover. My poor baby. So that is the finished look. I really love how it turned out. I preferred it color blocked last year, but because I was able to space things out pretty well here, I do like this version too, and I love the foil that I was able to bring in here. So yeah, at the end of this, I will include those clips I promised of Clover and Evie tearing down the birthday party. I hope you enjoy those, and I hope you have a good week. See you later. Okay. What did you do? Oh, hi, Evie. Are we destroying the birthday party? Oh, okay. Oh my god. Oh my. I don't know what I expected.
What did you expect?
I don't know. Go over, honey. I know you love your piece of string, but do you want an actual toy? She's like, nope, the piece of string's great. Why would I ever want anything else? Clover. Oh, I forgot I had a tag on it. What do you think? Does it smell good? Yeah. Nice. Is that your new toy? Oh, you like it. Oh. Are you so crazy? Oh, goodness.